quick rundown. We are just going to, let me just read what it says. The topic is Nigeria Wars at 61, Agent 1999 Constitution, License to Invade, Create Apartheid, and Commit Genocide. So I'll stop it there. So I will let Jean take over. Welcome and good. And we're live. So we're live on Facebook um, and on various platforms. So good evening to you all. Welcome to the NINAS broadcast tonight. Our leader tonight on the program, as ever, will be Jean May. She will be taking us through the program tonight. It's going to be very detailed. A quick rundown. We are just going to, let me just read what it says. The topic is Nigeria Wars at 61, Agent 1999 Constitution, License to Invade, Create Apartheid, and Commit Genocide. So I'll stop it there. So I will let Jean take over. Welcome and good evening, Jean. And please take over from here.
Okay, welcome everyone. We're very excited to have you here today. This is a special broadcast that we're going to have. Last week we talked a little bit about the numbers, right? We talked a little bit about what's going on in Nigeria and really just a concern that we all have about what's going on there. You know, we spend this month of October, we've been talking about the NINAS message, and NINAS is the Nigeria Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, which is the New South. Well, that's the alliance from the Middle Belt to the South that has united for freedom. And this is very important for our freedom because it is in unity that we get our freedom. And everyone likes to ask the question, what is NINAS? What is NINAS? Well, NINAS is you and I. It's as simple as that. Right? So NINAS, as we try to explain it simply as Modupe knows, we talk about NINAS as the umbrella, right? It's the umbrella is a self-determination umbrella. It is a self-determination umbrella that has declared the Constitution of force majeure, which means it is rejecting that 1999 Constitution as the basis for Nigeria and has declared a sovereignty dispute, sovereignty grievances. Okay, so the nations have filed a legal document called the Constitution of force majeure. And they have served it to the world for the world to know that this is going on and that they want to exercise their self-determination rights to restore their nations so that they can help protect their people, they can manage their assets, and they can determine everyone will be free, to exercise their religion, there'll be freedom of press, or, freedom of speech, all those basic things and benefits. Citizens can have benefits because in the current Agent 1999 Constitution, I'm afraid, citizens, you don't have benefits. Because even though you have that long list of benefits in Chapter 2, that is negated in Chapter 1, Section 6, subsection 6C, that says that you can't take it to court because the courts are not authorized to hear your suit. So today we're going to be talking about the numbers. Where is the money coming from? Where's the money going? How is that money being divided? And then we'll talk a little bit about the invasion. We're going to have some videos. Montebe's going to show us some videos. And kind of shows what's going on, right? There's one that is very telling. The one that Sokapu put out there talking about Ruga and what that means, what that looks like. Okay, so we'll be talking about that, and then we'll talk about a little bit about the genocide. So when we'll talk about the numbers, we'll talk about the apartheid, and you guys will kind of see how that happens, and then we'll talk about the invasion, and we'll just show you guys some videos so you can understand kind of what's going on, and then we'll talk a little bit about really the genocide, right? We'll talk about what's going on in Nigeria that we know is going on because it's all in the papers. We'll talk about what the international community is saying about it, and then you guys will be able to make up your own minds. So at this point, again, I'm going to welcome you. This is NINAS, the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination. This movement has been on since 1999. And so I will let AY kick us off with a couple of videos. He'll start out by talking about that 1999 Constitution.
Yeah.
Who actually made it?
Yeah.
And then he'll show us a little bit of what apartheid actually looks like from the eyes of little children.
Yes,
AY.
yes, there's a horrifying video. Okay, thank you very much. Now let's start off. We're gonna go into. I'm gonna share a screen. Let me. Sorry, is that okay? Speaker, what's happening to the speaker thing? So 1 minute, please. Spotlight for everyone. Okay, good. Okay, so now good. Now let me bring in the screen. 1 second. So we will share the screen. Okay, not that one. Not that one. This one. This one. That's it. Okay. So, with that said, we are going to go in. So, can you all see the screen? For starters, can you all see the screen? Hello. Can you all hear me?
Yes,
Hello.
we can hear you, but we can't see the screen yet. Not yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've got the screen. I'm sharing the screen as we speak. Can you not see that?
Mm,
Okay.
No, we can't see you sharing the screen yet. We can just see a speaker view. So you have to go back into
I
share.
think I'm going to have to go back here. Let me just set.
Yeah, you
Okay.
have to go back into share so that you can share.
Beg your pardon. Okay, let me just do this. Okay, now, yes, of course. Sorry about that. So, where we at now? Sorry, I seem to have just lost my focus just now. Okay, go
That's
back in there
okay.
and go
You know
back
how
out
that
there.
happens in these
Yeah,
things.
I got everything all planned and set up, and then suddenly it's like,
I know,
zuck.
I know how that is.
Okay,
you
let's.
probably have to stop sharing. Okay, good. All right, so.
Okay, can you see that? So I'm probably sharing the wrong one, but let me put it
Yeah,
here.
you're sharing the wrong one, but yes, you were
Okay,
definitely starting to share.
1 second. We'll get there in the end. Now, so let's do this. I know what it is now. I think I've got a handle of it. I've got a handle on it now. Okay, now there, and then just to make it easier, here. Okay, can you see the screen now? Can you all see the screen?
Right. And if you can make it a little bigger, because we're seeing some things underneath it, if you want to make it a little bigger so everyone can see.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah, it's fine. But Citizen AY, can you go to slideshow? If
yeah,
you
yeah,
go to
I am.
slideshow and then you go to current, and it should give you this actual screen by itself.
Current, beg your pardon. I'm on slide
So
3,
so
so.
click on current slide, and it should show that one.
Oh,
But anyway,
1 second.
don't just yeah. So just eh, I think
Sorry.
we can improvise
Is there,
because
can you, is any, are you seeing anything that you should, let me look on the
yes,
screen,
we are
sorry.
seeing it. We're seeing it. It's just not yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure that you guys got, beg your pardon. I should have done a test run earlier, but nonetheless. Okay, if you can see, then that's okay. Okay, restore the, I'm with you. Okay. Now, so what we're looking at is now we want to try and restore the sovereignty to ethnic nationalities of the Middle Belt and to the South. And now, as you all know, it's Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, of which Jean is, a prominent, a voice. She speaks for all of us there, and she's been trying to get um, basically all of us in the South to really, speak with one voice and go for this self-determination. By the way, at this point, I would like to urge those of you, if you haven't signed up to see NINAS, please go and do so now. I believe we have the link somewhere. If not, later on we'll put it on again. Just type in NINAS and it should come up on your search engine, and you can just join that way. Am I right, Nina and Jean? Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So now we are going to go and talk about the Constitution. I don't know if I can. I'm going to try and take. Oh, I see. There is something that is blocking the thing at the bottom. So I'll just change that right quick if I can. Can I? No. So I'll have to leave that because it will involve me going somewhere else. Now, I'll just talk you through what I can see. So now, the 1999 Constitution rejected as basis for Nigeria and the sovereignty grievances lodged. NINAS proclaimed the constitutional force majeure December 16, 2020. We're just trying to basically give you a chronicle list of how things progressed up to this point. So now,
So do you want to go ahead and go to the video?
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Modo video, and then you
Yes.
can go ahead and.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Let me stop there. I'll stop here. Beg your pardon. I'm going too far. Let me stop the sharing that for a minute. Now we'll bring you back, so you're back with me. Now let's bring in Unwodo video. You will all see. You will hear shortly. I think it's best you just hear this piece here, and then we can talk. And Jean and I can probably go into it a little bit, and then we'll play the video of the young children in what is effectively an apartheid. So here we go. 49 people elected, selected to write a constitution, wrote a constitution. 40 people in Supreme Legislative Council promulgated a constitution first. Under General Abubakar, government in which I sat, I was in executive council, I never saw the draft constitution. And I was Minister of Information. But my
You have to go back
responsibility
and share again. Once you stop sharing, then you have to go back and share again.
Oh, sorry. I'm with you. I'm so. I know what it is. I know what's happening. Sorry. I'm with you. So let me just go back again, and then I got to unshare that, and I need to take that off the screen.
Yeah, you have already unshared, so you just have to now go and share again.
Yeah, I'm with you. So
Yeah.
I was just assuming that it was showing. Now, can you all see what I'm seeing now? Can you all see that? I beg your pardon. I was. Now here we go. So can you all see? Can you all see Nwodo on the screen? Can you all see him on the screen? Yes, you can. Okay.
No, we can't. No, you're not sharing your screen yet.
Whoa. When you're playing this, it should come. Let me see.
Yeah, you need to share your screen and go there.
Okay, let me see if I can do it that way. Let me share the screen and go here. Okay, can you do that now? Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, now. Okay. 49 people elected, selected to write a constitution, wrote a constitution. 40 people in Supreme Legislative Council promulgated a constitution first. Under General Abubakar, government in which I sat, I was in executive council, I never saw the draft constitution. And I was Minister of Information. It was my responsibility to publicize it to the country. On the day of swearing in of Obasanjo, we didn't have a copy of the
You need to
constitution.
unmute your volume.
And my ministry was supposed to pay for the printing. And Obasanjo was sworn on the constitution. There's two sides to this story. Can you all hear? I could hear it. Could you hear me or not? Sorry about this.
We can hear you, but we can't hear the video. And it's a very quick video.
Okay, I know what's happening here. Those of you who are watching it, and I should have prepped this later. Let me stop sharing for a second. Now, when you're watching it on your side, on Oduduwa TV Radio, we play it direct. So I'm going to try and see if I can do it two ways. There's like I'm going to have to open it twice. So let me do that first, and then we can resolve that problem quickly. Beg your pardon. So we are going to go into. I didn't anticipate this was going to be an issue.
I know, just because we're doing something a little bit different today.
That's correct, yes. So please do bear with us. We are trying to give you as much of the information, but sometimes it does happen. 49 people elected, selected to write a constitution, wrote a constitution. Now, let me mute that one. So we're going to share what you will see on the screen on the side, and I will play the other one in mute, because I don't want the voice to go back out. Now, okay, so where we are. Here we are. It's a bit of a little technical glitch here. Now, I'm trying to listen. Can you all hear it? Hello? Can you hear it? Can you see it on the screen now? Can you see on the screen? Hello? Jane?
Let's see.
Can you see it on the screen?
It's on the screen, but we still can't hear it.
Okay, now, let's do something. Can you hear it now?
Yeah. So let's see, maybe if we have,
I'm gonna do.
Modubaji, are you on your computer so that way you might be able to share it?
Let me do this.
Yes, I am.
Okay, just give me a second.
Because I can share it, but I somehow, if you can't hear it, it's sort of concerning, and because I can hear this end.
Jane, if Jane
Yeah, I've
can
sent
share
it
the
to you.
document,
Okay,
Yeah.
it's on my screen. Have you sent it to me?
I do beg your pardon. We're having some
In a
technical
sec.
issues.
It's okay.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay.
We are trying out some things today so that this
Yeah.
could be broadcast in lots of places. So we're gonna have to work it
Yeah.
out.
So
And I'm gonna make you right. There you
so if
are,
you
make you a host.
so if you share it, maybe that will can pick up that way. So it's
Oh no, you have
amazing.
co-host obviously already.
So
Okay, so much, but you can share your screen.
okay, let me pull back out and then do this.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just do a stop sharing and then
yeah,
she can
that's
take
correct.
over.
That's what I'm gonna do. Stop sharing. Okay, good. Okay, now,
There you go.
so we're back. So, ladies and gentlemen, do bear with us. This thing do happen, but we're trying to. We haven't quite done this before in that manner. So we've got different platforms streaming. So sharing and hearing is slightly disjointed. So that if Mudukwe, if you can share it your end, play it. Maybe you can take it from here. Take it there.
Hey, why? Could you please take a look at the message I sent you in the chat?
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Of course. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. It's part of my. Well, I mean,
I understand. So, Modipe, are you able to share? I mean, it's a very quick. It's a very very quick.
yeah. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
a very quick.
if I played it this end, it would show to the audience on Otutua TV, Citizen AY. It would show on other platforms, but you wouldn't be able to see it because it's you haven't.
Right, because
Yeah.
of the volume is not. Yeah, we'll just have to work that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is Modipe trying her end? I'm gonna try. Let me try one more thing. Let me try one more time. Because when I do this, I think I can see it on the screen here. I'm trying to see.
Oh, sorry, I've been speaking. I'm trying to get it to my computer because you sent it to my iPhone.
Okay.
So I'm trying to. So I need to
Okay,
get
gotcha.
my computer
So
now.
while we're waiting, what we're talking about today is we're going to be talking about what's going on in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. The focus that we're going to have today is really talking about um, the 1999 Constitution. We're calling it Agent 1999 Constitution.
Yeah.
And it has a license to create apartheid, to create genocide, and to invade our ancestral lands. And we're going to be talking about how that is actually happening and showing you about that. So we're going to start out by talking about the Constitution itself. You know, in the preamble, it says, "We the people made it." And I saw this one tweet that said that it shouldn't say "we the people," it
Yeah.
should have said "we the stupid people made this." Because when you look at some of the things that that it says in that Constitution, we really must have been very, very stupid
Mm.
to have put that Constitution upon ourselves. But I thought that was funny, but it was actually very apt. Because when you take a look at what's in that Constitution, or even how it became, how that Constitution came into being. So that's what NINAS has
Mm.
been talking about. And NINAS is really you and I. NINAS is all those brilliant minds back in 1999, which included Inaharo, it included Ojukwu, it included Wole Soyinka, and all the notable Nigerians that took a look at this thing and gasped and said, this cannot be allowed to happen because it would lead to exactly what we're seeing right now and even worse. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be looking at the numbers. You know, where's the revenue coming from? Where is it going? How is it being allocated? And really showing you through just objective facts
Mm.
how that apartheid has been created
Mm.
and what invasion really looks like. You've heard about the Trojan horses. Well, in this case, we're talking about the Nigerian cows. Same concept. They're the Trojan cows, is what we're talking about. So, Madupe, anytime that you're ready, you can go ahead and share the screen. If not, I will continue to talk, or
Yeah,
Citizen
yeah.
AY.
Go ahead. I'll let you.
Okay, so I'll just let Citizen AY talk about
Okay.
how this concerns all of us
Yes.
and, you know, what we need to be doing.
You know. this really concerns all of us from the point of view that, look, um, those of us who are abroad, if you think you're away from this problem, no, you're not. It's actually hitting you in the most telling manner. It hits you in the pocket, and it hits you psychologically. When you are away from home, you think you're fine, but guess what? Your mind is at home. Your whole psyche is at home. You are
Your
thinking about
extended family.
family. Exactly. You're thinking about
Extended
your
family.
extended family. You're thinking about what is happening to them. And when something goes wrong, instead of them going to hospital, instead of them going to get their school fees
Sorry, you
paid.
were muted. You need to unmute. You're
Oh,
muted.
okay. Okay. So yeah, so instead of you going to hospital, instead of you going to paying school fees directly yourself, instead of you getting money to fix your mechanic, instead of you getting your waterworks fixed, when anything goes wrong at home for your family, your extended family, and most of us, we have nothing less than 100 connections each that we know of. And we all know that our connections, our bond with our extended family is strong. What that means is that you will be getting calls from various parts of your extended family to help you. And what they really need is the help that the government of the day, both state, federal, and local, have failed and are failing to provide on a daily basis. So you become the banker, you become the helper, you become the problem solver. You are carrying the problems of 100 people on your shoulders, even though you are away from that problem thousands of miles away. That is if you really sit back and look at this, and dispassionately, as a diasporan, you will agree with me that that's exactly what the picture I've just painted now is the reality that we face. Oftentimes we try to avoid it. That is why I understand we do a bit of escapism. We do parties because we want to forget that problem. But that problem never goes away. It's just parked to one side. And that is what we really need to deal with. Now, people on the ground at home, the problem that they have is that they have been so conditioned to not know that they have rights that they can hold those in power to and make them accountable to them. And that's the training, and that's why they catch them young. That is why the churches and the mosque and all of these religious things, they play a vital role in deadening the minds of the people. They deaden the minds of the people. They just say, no, control. Whatever you told, we tell you to sit somewhere, that's where you are. You do not, the ability to think for our people has been removed. Jean said last
Absolutely.
week, she said last week, when you starve a child when they're young, you are actually affecting their ability to think, their psychological development. And that is what the government of the day, they have all been doing systematically.
90 million people, of which about 40, over 45 million are children. That's our future.
That's it.
That is our
Exactly.
future, folks. They're not getting the nutrition to develop their brains.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the situation we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
They don't even have clothing.
No. No. It's crazy.
Okay?
It's crazy.
Shelter is a problem. And the last numbers that I saw from the UN is talking about 9 million are on the verge of death.
Deaf. Oh
It
my
needs
God.
immediate aid.
9 million
That's
on
what
the
the
verge
highlight
of
is
death.
about. That's what it's about. Now, these are indigenous Nigerians, people we're talking about. These are indigenous, the owners of the
The
land.
land. Exactly.
Okay, because when you look at Nigeria, you'll see two groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
They're the indigenous Nigerians, and then there's a non-indigenous
Indigenous.
Fulani
That's
who
correct.
have taken over the ruling of our
Exactly.
country, who
Exactly.
have instituted this Agent 1999
Constitution.
Constitution
Yeah.
and allowing the non-indigenous invaders
Mm.
to kill our people with impunity,
Yeah.
meaning there's no prosecution,
There isn't.
there is no consequence, right? And we're even seeing them putting them into the Nigerian army.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're calling them repentant.
It's
But
crazy.
we see from what happened in Afghanistan, right? AY, you see
Yes.
from what happened in Afghanistan.
Absolutely, it's all part of the plan. The partnering and also the reluctance. This morning, Magashi said, or last night, he said, "Oh, we are going to a process, through a process before we proscribe the Fulani terrorists." So they are doing everything in their power to actually deal with the problem, and they know that the minute they proscribe the Fulani terrorists, it's game over because
Yeah,
it
Miiti
hurts.
Allah. Miiti Allah is the parent company, right?
There you go.
And a little bit later on, Majube's got that video where they were demanding 160 billion to stop kidnapping,
Wow.
and they got 100 billion
Billion.
naira.
Exactly.
Has kidnapping stopped?
No way. No way.
No, it hasn't stopped,
No.
right? Now we want
Yeah,
to prescribe the bandits,
Yeah.
right, as terrorists.
Yeah.
But bandits, excuse me, Fulani herdsmen, I mean, they're pretty much all the same.
Yeah. One
Excuse
second.
me,
One
got a
second.
frog in my throat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but let us know when you are
Okay.
ready so
Sorry.
that we can get started because
that
Citizen AY
video,
and I
yeah,
can talk forever.
that specific video is not coming through.
Okay.
I've tried multiple times to send it to my email so that I
It's
can,
not coming through.
that,
Okay.
yeah, so I can display it on my computer.
Now,
But I think it can only work on my phone, but that means I have to raise my phone up,
could
which is not really.
could
Right.
we?
Okay. That's fine.
I
That's
have a
fine.
I have a
Citizen AY, go ahead and show the next video.
Okay. No, what we could do, I could show this video, and Jane, do you have the same video? Because I think what is going to happen is that because you're showing it on your side, on your stream, maybe I'll have to show it on my side and talk about it, and then you show it again. Then we can move on to the next one because people can see from this side. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're two different
Yeah, I can
streams.
hear you, but the issue is on my old computer where the volume doesn't
Oh, I'm with
always.
you. Okay.
Yeah, the
Let
volume
let
doesn't
me.
is isn't always but if you can why don't you go ahead and show your second video, let me
Okay.
send an
Let
email
me
to
let me see. Okay.
I'll send an
Now,
email to Motope with that one and
I'm
you can
gonna
get it
try and
when you send.
show the second video, but the thing is, the second video, I'm not so sure if I can do it. I'll try and share it. Let's see if I can share it. Share the screen. See if that works.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and. So let's do this now. I'm sharing the screen. Share. Let's see. Now, okay. Oh, sorry. One second. That's not what I want to do. Now let's do this way, and then let's. 1 second, please. Just give me a minute. Share
Okay.
screen, and then let's go and hide this one and share this one. Oh, okay. It's not working as planned. It wasn't planned to be like that. That wasn't the plan. That wasn't in the plan. Now,
So
okay, let's
what
see.
is going on with that
It's
one?
when I try to share the screen, it's taking it back somewhere else when it shouldn't. Now, hang on. Let me try one more time. Let's try one more time. Okay. Oh, goodness me. Is it still being shared? Can you see anything on the screen, your end?
No, you're not showing anything yet.
Okay. Oh, my goodness me. What's going on? Okay. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you now. Okay, we're back. We're back. Got it now. It's a bit technical sometimes, this thing, and you just have to. Okay, so now I'm gonna play there, and I'll share the screen, and I'll hope that that's what I'll just hope that that's what you see. Now let's go into it, share screen, and let's see if you see that. Now, okay, can you see the screen now? Can you see what's on the screen? Can you see the kids in the picture?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll probably do it that way then. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going to happen. So we're going to play it now. Can you hear it? I hope you can.
Okay. I have the other video,
Okay.
and then yeah, and I think I have this one. So
Alrighty, so then we'll use you as our video person then.
Yeah, should we do that?
so let's yeah
Okay,
let's
we'll
try
do that
this
then.
video.
I'll stop sharing. Okay. Okay, you go ahead. So you go ahead.
Okay.
So let's do that then, because for some reason it's back to front. So I'm not quite able to share. So beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen, it's something that's just gone wrong. We're trying to fix it.
Can
Okay.
you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cabinet selected to write the constitution wrote the constitution. 40 people in the Supreme Military Council promulgated the constitution first. Unlike the government in which I served, I was in executive council. I never saw the draft constitution. And I was Minister of Information. It was my responsibility to publicize it to the country. On the day of swearing in of Obasanjo, we didn't have a copy of the constitution. I didn't know who was printing it. And my ministry was supposed to pay for the printing. And Obasanjo was sworn on the constitution that not be read by anybody. And the National Assembly could not be constituted until 4 days after his swearing in because there was no clean copy of the constitution. You cannot build a quicksand and the country cannot live on falsehood.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very
Do
much,
you hear?
Modupe. Thank you. Thank you. That is a brilliant. Should we talk about that in detail? Because I think we need to look at those. There's key things you mentioned there.
Yes, go ahead.
First, he said that there were only 40 people that were actually privy to this
Okay.
document
In the
in
Supreme
this.
Military Council.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, many people are not aware. That's the first time I'm actually hearing it. I knew that there was a bit of a document whereby I knew that they call themselves the Provisional Ruling Council.
This is the Military Decree 24.
Thank you very much. And oh yeah, I mean there was a document which I have, but I don't know. The screen sharing is a bit all over the place at the minute, so I won't do it this end. But yeah, the key thing is what I'd like us all to really look at is what is very important in all of that is that I want to add something more to it. Our Yadudu said they adopted the constitution. I don't know if you heard that kind of words, those words. So this what Modo said here, I hope I've said it right, really tallies with what is being said there. That these guys sat in a room and they put a paperwork together, what they call the constitution, and enforced it on all of us. So I'll stop and let others join in. I just wanted to just say that. Go ahead, Eugene. Go ahead.
We've got Ola Yele. Do you have a comment about the Constitution? You can unmute if you have a
Yeah.
comment about the video that you were just watching. Ola Yele,
Okay,
I will see.
yeah, okay, thank you, Lord, from Nigeria. I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, my name is Olayele Awoshika. First of all, I apologize for coming late to this program. I actually had it in mind to come in at 7 o'clock, but unfortunately, somehow I forgot. I'm so sorry about that.
That's all
Now,
right.
That's all right.
a friend of mine invited me, and I'm so happy that this is happening. As a matter of fact, my second time of coming in here. And so, quickly to the question, I just wanted to ask. I know Nina's. I've been to your website. I've seen quite a couple of your literature, sorry, your write-ups, and that's exactly what I identify with. So I just wanted to find out: does Nina's have a chapter in Europe?
The answer is yes, we do. Depends on where you are. We've got the UK, Germany, and then we're kind of bringing everyone together under one umbrella as well. So
Okay,
I'm not sure where are you?
I am based in the Republic of Ireland, actually.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So if you can put your information in the chat, and this is for everyone that is joining us. And if you are watching us on various channels, just send us your information at freedomfromnigeria@gmail.com, or you can send us your information at Ninas info at Ninas FFN, that's NINASFFN.org. Okay, so you can send it to us at freedomfromnigeria@gmail.com. That's an easy one to remember. Or Nina's info at ninasffn.org. And then we will get you connected to the right team. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Because there are actually two of us who are based in the Republic of Ireland, and that's the other person in Ireland is Dion Ogundipe. He's also on this panel.
Awesome,
It,
awesome. If you can actually provide your information in the
okay,
chat, you
we'll do
can
that.
send it either direct to me or post it to everyone. I will get
Okay.
in touch with you after this meeting, and we can, talk about the other folks who are in Ireland, and we can get you guys off and going with the Irish because we definitely Ireland is a country that has always been friendly to freedom, just because of the situation that they've been going in. So you guys have a unique opportunity from where you are to actually make an impact and an inroad into a friendly situation that would help us out a great deal. So you are welcome to the show. You are welcome. And
Thank you
Dion,
so
you're
much.
welcome as well. We're very happy to have both of you. So please provide us with your information and we'll get you connected right after the show.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Io, we're talking about the Agent 1999
Yes.
Constitution,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Agent 1999
Mm-hmm.
Constitution, and the fact that the Minister of Information, who was supposed to actually get this thing out and going, didn't even know where it was. Was there something else that he said about a passenger being sworn in? What was he sworn in on?
Exactly. This is the question. There was a because he had to be sworn in by the 29th of May, if I recall.
Right, right, and there
Uh,
wasn't a constitution, right?
no, it was a hush hush job. They wrote this thing on the 5th of May. Abdul Salam signed it, and there are so many questions about this,
Absolutely,
uh, and,
absolutely.
and one can now begin to see there is no. It is now evident that there is no referendum anywhere where the
Absolutely.
people of the South were collectively asked to actually vote on that said constitution, which in actual fact is a promulgation decree number 24 of 1999. Very much like you said earlier on, Jean.
Agent 1999. And actually, one of the things that people may not know is that that Military Decree 24
Yes.
was actually on that Constitution when it was initially put out there. It actually has Military Decree
Yeah,
24
it
on it.
does. It does.
And this is a fact that's actually very powerful. Is
Yeah.
that that initial copy of it?
Yeah.
There was a note that was made to the printer
Hmm.
to remove a segment that talked about the fact that the people did not make this constitution.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
that initial release of the Constitution, that note was in that Constitution.
Yeah.
It was in that
It,
first printing.
it was. It was. I think
But
I.
it clearly said this is not made by the people. But again, like I said previously,
Hmm.
if this is made by the people, the preamble should not be "we the people." It should be "we the stupid people,"
Yeah.
because
It should.
this
It should.
definitely is not friendly
No.
to the indigenous people of Nigeria in any way, shape, or
Or
form,
form.
and very much favors the non-indigenous folks
To
who who have come to live
among
amongst us
us.
and are now trying to take over our land, our religion, and everything, our ancestry, etc.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree totally. Yeah. The thing that really scares there's a document I have. It says in the document that they should treat the constitution the decree as a constitution. But they were not going to mention that it's decree number 24 of 1999, and it will have the same force of law as though it had decree number 24 of 1999 within that documentation. I mean, this is
Absolutely.
breathtaking. This is breathtaking. I will see if I can actually show that as a shared document.
Okay, go ahead, Motube. You might want to unmute and join us in the
Yeah. Yeah,
conversation.
please do.
This
Go
is
ahead.
this is
Yeah.
an informal conversation that we're
Yeah.
having.
Yes, please do.
And I see that Eugene has joined us as well. Eugene, I'm going to make you a co-host. I see Stephen, so you guys will be able to, chime in and chat. So there is Stephen. I'm going to make you a co-host. So if you guys have things to add, do go ahead. These are some of our presenters that we have for NINAS from pretty much all the different alliance territory areas that join us and help us to break down the information. That's what we're doing here, folks. This is where we actually look at the uncomfortable facts.
Yeah.
Look at those uncomfortable facts. And we call it as it is because it's public information. We're not making anything up here. Everything that we tell you, you can Google it and you can find it. Okay? Everything that we're telling you here, you would see exactly where it is. Okay?
Now,
So, Stephen,
I'm showing you a screen. I don't know if you can see it. Can people
right, you
see
have to
the
make it a
screen?
little bigger and break it down so that, and then, right, okay, a little bit more. Make it a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Okay, now you can read it. There
Yeah.
you go.
Now, let me. I want to show you something. Because this is a document. This is a Nigerian government document printed on the 5th day of May 1999. If you can see, can you all see that on the screen?
Yes, we can
Okay.
see it.
Now I'm gonna make it slightly bigger. See me if I can make that slightly bigger. Then I can
Yeah, we
scroll.
can read it now, actually.
Good.
We can read it
Now,
now.
so now there is a bit that I want you all to home in on. Sorry. Let me. Now towards the end, I kid you not. It is. You can see that there's General Abdul Salam Abubakar at the end of it, head of state, commander in chief of the armed forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Copyright 2005. They copyrighted this nonsense. Now, I want you to listen to the words here. The third chapter, the third paragraph along, I think. Now, therefore, the federal military government hereby decrees as follows. The third line: wherever it may hereafter be necessary for the Constitution to be printed, it shall be lawful for the federal government printer to omit all parts of this decree apart from the schedule, and the Constitution as so printed shall have the force of law notwithstanding the omission. So now that is what I was referring to. I want that's just a point there. So to go to the top, when it says here, where it says Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Promulgation Decree number 24 of 1999, they removed the Promulgation Decree number 24 F.
Exactly.
They removed that. And they left
Exactly.
Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria. That's it, 1999. So that is a fraud, a massive fraud on all of us combined. That is a fraud that they must address collectively. And we mustn't be silent on this particular issue. So I wanted to just bring that. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I mean, anybody who's, if you wanted to make a comment about this,
Stephen, I see that you're unmuted. If you wanted to join in the
yeah.
conversation, that's great. Eugene, you can join in the conversation. Imora, I
So,
see you also. If
Hey,
you guys have comments, you can
yeah.
join in.
yes, it's become very obvious now with this document that my friend has uncovered that the fraud was not only on Nigerian indigenous citizens in particular, but on the global community because
Yes.
Absolutely.
we
Absolutely. Great
realize
point, Stephen.
that yeah, it was veiled at that time. Nigeria was veiled as a democracy
Yes.
when in fact it was a military dictatorship in
Indeed.
Agbada. Yes, so that explains some of the founding atrocities that has brought us to this point that we are now.
It is
Yeah,
shocking. Shocking.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shocking.
yeah.
Honestly,
Hello, well done, please.
Yeah, go
I,
ahead.
I, I, I need a clarification on this document that was just uploaded.
Yes.
If it were copyrighted, we have 2005, when we are talking about 1999, should I
Yes.
know the correlation between, I think if it were to be copied, to be the date should be before 2005.
It should. I
My
mean,
first note.
all I know is that it is on one of the the government websites, and I managed to pick it up.
Absolutely.
And it is
Absolutely.
there. So I mean, you can see it says government of Nigeria. So it could well be that it took them that long before they decided to copyright it for whatever reason. But it's what is not in doubt. It says the date upon which it was done in Abuja on the 5th day of May 1999. The general who was involved. It's got the details. Very much many of the details that we have been the missing link in many areas are contained within this document. I will try and see if I can share it again. I'll put it on my
Yeah, but
board.
again, just even AY, just
Mhm.
what you're showing right there. It says right there, right? The
Mm.
Constitution set out in the schedule to this
Decree,
creed
yeah,
shall come into force.
yeah,
Okay, so
on the
we're
29th of
talking
May.
exactly. There shall be for Nigeria a constitution which shall be as set out in the schedule to
That's it.
this decree.
That's
So
it.
this we're talking about, in the beginning you can see where it clearly shows that this is decree. We're talking about
Yeah,
decree
I'll bring it down.
24.
I'll bring it down. Let
Decree
me bring it down so you
24.
can see. There you go. So
Right,
on the top
right.
there. Yeah.
And one of the things that you guys may not even know as well is that back in the day between 1960 and 1966, when the nations, which were called regions, the Western region, the Eastern region, the Midwestern, and the Northern, when they were in existence, they each had their own separate constitutions,
Yeah.
right? They were autonomous,
Mm-hmm.
they were self-governing,
Yes.
self-governing, okay? And so, if you're going to be going back into civilian rule, what existed prior to the 1999, the Agent 1999 Constitution, which is Military Decree number 24, right, of 1999. What should have happened is that the people, those nations, should have made a decision as to what they wanted, what kind of state they wanted to have in
Indeed.
place, right?
Indeed.
They needed to be able to do that, but there wasn't any referendum,
No.
right? They were not brought together to be able to talk about,
No.
what they wanted to be, because the parliamentary system was gone. There really wasn't a system. They divided up the country into states, if you recall,
Exactly.
right? So the ethnic nations needed to be able to say, okay, here are these states make up our nation, and this is what we want to be like, right? But that, of course, didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I don't want to beat this to death. I do want us to move on so we can
Good.
talk about the numbers,
Yeah.
because we want to talk about the numbers,
Indeed.
right?
Indeed. Indeed.
So, AY, if you want to
Share the
start showing
screen.
the information
Let's get it
on
out here.
the,
On the
let's
screen.
talk about the Constitution.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about the apartheid. We said Agent 1999 Constitution.
Yeah.
It has a license to create apartheid. And
Yeah.
let's take a look at a particular segment in the Constitution. We're talking about the Federation accounts, right? And
So.
we're going to talk about how the factors that they're using to be able to distribute the revenue in Nigeria. We'll talk about that real quick. And then we'll take a look at a presentation that Dafro Samuel had put together, and we'll look at some specific elements of it that point out clearly to us from what's going on in the Constitution to what the actual numbers are looking like is what you're going to see.
Yeah.
Because it is important for all of us to see that. If you want to go up
Yeah.
to slide number 4, I think. If you want to go to slide number 4.
1 second. I'm trying to get in there. So, slide number 4. Can you all see it now? Can you all see it?
Right.
Yeah?
Keep going back so you can
So
get
yeah,
to
4. Yeah, here we
right.
go. 4. Yeah? Got it?
Okay. Right, exactly. So there's a segment in the 1999 Constitution that talks about, federation accounts. And federation accounts is how you actually divide up the revenue in the country. And they have selected 3 criteria. Okay, I say they because obviously it wasn't us. One is local government area. Okay,
Ooh.
local government area. Then the second one is land size. You have to be blind not to be able to see, what land size, in the far north compared to the other. And in fact, let's just make something clear right now. When we talk about the north, if we talk about the current north, not taking into consideration that the middle belt is trying to come out of the north, right? We're talking about the total north, the way it was designed. You're going to see clearly what we're talking about, right? So, and then population, that's going to be in the presentation that we were talking about the numbers. But AY, if you want to go to the next slide, that actually shows how
There
the
you go.
local government areas break up. If you want to talk about that, so
Yeah.
we could see the current north as opposed to everybody else. That's to give you an idea. So if you can talk through that.
Well, I mean, the figures speak for themselves. If you look at the North, what they've split, they basically split the middle belt. Is that because that MB stands for middle belt? Is that correct?
Right, because currently it is part of the North.
That's
When they
correct.
first designed this,
Exactly.
this is
Exactly. So now, when you look at the North, you will go, oh, 415. Oh, that's a lot of them. They are, and this is all psychology. What they did there was to they land grabbed in a document. So they wrote up their own idea and how they saw things, and then they now set about putting it on paper. So when you see the North and you say 415, you need to factor in the fact that the middle belt is a huge swell of that, 152. Now, middle belt, as we all know, is part of the South, and that is
well, that's kind of what we are. That's what we are trying to do, right? But when
exactly.
they first designed this,
Yeah.
The north is the middle belt and the north.
That's
And so
correct.
they have like 415 local
15.
government areas, right?
Exactly.
But again, if you just even look at the north by itself, it's
Exactly. 63.
263.
Exactly. That's
263.
correct.
Okay?
That's correct.
Right, right.
And that is the thing. They were again. This was all down to this idea of this James Robertson era, whereby the census and all of that stuff. So this kind of built on that lie, the lie of the census, whereby they were saying, oh, the north had more population. Just have to just think about it. The north is a dry, it's a desert area. We are in the forest area. So by design alone, the population will favor the tropical areas. So again, what they were then doing is to now try and reflect that lie by grabbing land grab. They were land grabbing. They have been land grabbing for a long time. To add 152 to the paltry 263 numbers, 63 local government areas in the north is to deny the south the true local government areas that would ordinarily be in the south. So that was
Right.
something to highlight there. I don't know if anybody wants to
Right,
add anything to
right,
that part.
right, right. So again, this is what we're using. This is one of the factors. And then if you kind of flip to the next slide, just kind of gives you, when you look at the local government areas that have over 20, which are like the top ones, and you can see
Yeah.
kind of, how that breaks down, how, the
So
North has a
now
lot of
here we go.
that.
So now we
Right.
are now looking at the local government areas by Kano, 44.
Right,
Katsina.
if you recall, AY, we talked
Yeah.
about the fact that Kano State, right? Kano State, it was divided into two, right? So it was
Three.
Kano
In
and
fact, it's
Jigawa,
three.
right? Kano and Jigawa.
Yeah.
And so if you look at the true Kano State, right?
Yeah.
You will have the 44 for Kano, and
That's it.
Jigawa has 27.
That's
That's
correct.
71.
That's
Okay,
it.
that is 71.
That's correct.
Now, when they started out these local government areas,
Mm-hmm.
Kano had 20 local government
Just like
areas.
Lagos.
And if you look at the bottom, Lagos,
Mm-hmm.
Lagos
Sorry.
State had 20, right?
Yeah.
It's just at the bottom of the first one, right at the
Yeah,
bottom
that's it.
there.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Right,
Got it.
okay. So you see that Lagos had 20 and Kano State had 20.
Yeah.
But now Kano State has 44 plus 27 because if you bring back the old Kano State, it
Yeah.
has 71.
That's
And
correct.
Lagos still has 20.
20.
Now we're dividing the revenue based on that numbers, which means that now Kano State, the old Kano State, is getting more than three times what Lagos State it will be getting based on local government area. So
Exactly.
those are some of the things that, when you look at, you can start seeing how this apartheid is being created.
Indeed.
Katsina's got 34,
Yeah.
and Aborono's got 27, etc., etc. But as we said, the far north has got like 263,
Yeah.
right?
Indeed.
And it's creating some kind of a much larger number going to them as opposed to being more evenly distributed.
Exactly.
Okay, so we'll look at those that have less than 20. You can see the states that have less than 20. You
20.
see a lot of non-northern states in that, which is the next slide.
Yeah.
AY.
We'll do that now and then. Okay, so yeah, now you can see. So Cross River,
Yeah,
18.
we have
Ebon,
Bayelsa has
yeah.
8, for instance.
Yeah.
Ebony's got 13.
Yeah.
Right, Enugu has 17,
Yeah.
Abia 17,
Yeah.
Plateau 17.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of the non-far north states
Yeah.
down here.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about the next factor that's being used, which is the land size. Okay. Because you guys can take a look at the map. You actually don't even have to do any calculation.
No.
But let us help you with it. Just to go to the next slide.
There you go. Here we
And
go.
you can see what we're talking about,
Mhm.
right? When we're talking about the land size, if you combine the middle belt and the north, they are about what, 726, right? Thousand, 100,000.
Yeah.
726 out of 927.
27.
Are you guys listening?
This is crazy.
Land size
Size.
being used.
Yes.
Land size.
Size.
Okay, if you're gonna use land size, you know that in the north there's a lot of desert, right?
Yes.
So then
Indeed.
we're giving the desert we're giving the desert the money, right? Is kind of pretty much what we're doing.
Yeah.
And the rainforest area that's actually producing, the revenue
Mhm.
is not getting, is not getting as much,
No,
right?
no.
So we're talking about land size is giving them
Seven,
78,
eight,
over 78%
78%. Oh my
of
goodness.
the
Yeah.
revenue is going to go to them based on land size,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we saw, like when we're talking about the local government areas, we saw what that looked like as well.
Exactly.
So this is when we talk about a pipeline being created, this
This
is
is
how
what.
it happens,
Exactly.
right? And then
Exactly.
when we look at the numbers, you actually start seeing it in the numbers
Yeah.
there, right?
Uh,
So let's look at like other factors that we have, for a pipeline. Oh, AY, you want to talk a little bit more about the
yeah.
land size?
Yeah. I just want to
All you have
just.
to do is pull up the map,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. I want to just show you something. You see, when they say, uh, look at the size of middle belt. It is 326,500. Now they've put that as the north. That is significant.
Yeah.
That is very significant because they use that. Once they put it in as the north, then we really know that the middle belt people will suffer. They are just going to take those funds and it will be hoovered up.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that is something that many of us have not homed in on. The real landmass of the north is 400,000, whatever it says there.
Yeah,
But
kilometers.
400
Yeah.
kilometers. But they've hoovered up 326,000 kilometers. You know, out of nothing. And they and
78%. Over
78%. So
78%.
that, look, each and every southerner watching this, every time you are hearing what we're saying, it is confirming to you that we are under an apartheid that we have not even been aware of. I want you to
Yeah.
think about that.
So can I just interject real quick,
Yes, sure.
Ayo
Yes, please.
and Jean?
Yes, please.
So I mean, if they have all this land mass, 700, thousand square kilometers,
Square
right?
kilometers. Yeah.
Actually, let's
Why
correct it
are they
400.
asking us? So why are they asking the South to give them land for open grazing?
Thank you very much, my dear.
Yeah,
Thank you
give
very
someone
much,
open
my
grazing.
dear.
I just think, I mean, it defies common sense.
And
It does.
Ruga, right?
Ruga.
Ruga. We'll be looking at that video.
Yeah.
Modiba will be showing us that video of
Yeah.
what Ruga is actually is.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
we can talk about that because Ruga, when you look at the definition of what it is really colonization.
It is. It
Okay,
is.
and that's why we have to keep talking about the fact that the Fulanis are non-indigenous to Nigeria. Okay, the world needs to understand that they're non-indigenous.
Yeah.
They own no land in Nigeria, and yet they have laid claim to the land in the far north.
Yeah.
They've now been displacing the people in the middle belt to
Yeah.
take their land,
Yeah.
and now they're pushing through all of Nigeria. They are non-indigenous, and so when we're talking about invasion, right? We have a number of things that's going on. This is the invasion that we're talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
Because when you look at the far north, okay, and when you look at the statement that Amabel made,
Yes.
right? And I don't know if you have that, Citizen AY, if you
I
have
have
that
it.
statement
I have it.
that,
But
that he
the thing is,
made.
I'd have to stop sharing the
I have it
screen.
right here though. If you
Okay, you
want me.
could.
Yeah,
Let
let's
me.
just finish this and then we'll bring it up. Let's
Okay.
Okay.
finish this. But
Okay.
yes, but that is, I mean, that really is what we're talking about, right? And I believe, was it in Sokoto? I think it was in Sokoto that I saw where they've been able to actually create ranches there,
Mm-hmm.
and have the plants that the cows will live. They actually have the ranches, and there's more land. This has been done successfully. There's no reason for us to have the Trojan cows
Yeah.
showing
There's no
up
reason.
in the middle belt of the south. No reason whatsoever. But what are they doing in the middle belt? They're destroying farmland. What are they doing in the southwest?
Exactly.
Destroying
Destroying
farmland.
farmland.
What are they doing in the southeast?
Destroying
Destroying
farmland.
farmland, right? And it's starting, the food supply in Nigeria is starting to be very shaky,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we have 90 million people in starvation. Now they can't, even when they want to get that 1 square meal, it's not going to be available. What's going to happen to them? They're
Yeah.
going to start dying.
Yeah.
Who's tracking that as part of
Nobody.
this part? Exactly. Right? Because we talk about over 400,000 that have been killed, right? We talk about over 400,000, but no one is tracking the imposed, because this starvation
Yeah.
is
This
being
is
done deliberately.
artificial
Thank you,
impoverishment.
artificial. That's the right word. That's the
I
right
want to
word for
just add
sure.
something a little bit, if I may, Jean, to what you just said here. You said they're not from our part, and you're right. They come
Yes.
Sorry,
from
Citizen
the
White.
yes,
Sorry.
yes.
I just want to know. Sorry, sorry for interjecting. I wanted to know if there is anybody from the Middle Belt on this call.
That would be a good point. Yeah, good. I'm not too sure, but if there's anybody, please make yourself known. I would like to hear
I
from
am
you.
actually. I'm half middle belt.
Okay, there you go. Well,
Okay, okay, all right.
that answers your question. That answers your
So yeah,
question.
I can talk about because I am half Benue State.
Oh,
So
fantastic! Oh, good, brilliant. So
yeah.
you have a great insight
I
into
do
that.
have a perspective, and actually, if you remember, I think it was a couple of weeks ago when we did the IDP camps, and we had Dr. Joseph Kyrie that actually gave us the numbers, and he just looked at just Benue. He just looked at a small portion,
Yeah,
and the numbers are just staggering,
yeah.
right? The numbers are staggering. The people who have been displaced, but in case you're wondering, it's over 4 million
Million
people,
people.
over 4 million
Scary,
people. And I saw
scary,
the numbers about the farmland that the
scary.
the non-indigenous Fulani people have taken over already. It's
Yeah.
over 134,000
We
acres
we we
that they've
we.
taken over.
Yeah.
They have displaced
This
the people from
people.
the land, destroyed the farmland, and they're on the land while these people are in IDP camps in
Yeah.
squalid conditions,
Conditions.
right?
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
I just wanted to just add that the people they actually come from Futajalon,
Right.
which is in Guinea. And that's their roots. They often like to say Usman Danfodio was born in Goba and somewhere in Chokoto or thereabout,
No, he wasn't.
but his parents
Mm-mm.
come from
Come from.
Futajalon in Guinea,
Exactly.
and that is what we
Exactly.
need to home in on.
They are
Every single
non-indigenous.
they
This
are
is an
non-indigenous.
invasion.
It's an
They are
invasion, and
non-indigenous.
we need to home in on that and make every southerner be aware that they come from Futajalon. So when they because
Every indigenous Nigerian, including those in the far north, because
that's
we
it.
have indigenous Nigerians in the
Exactly.
far north who
Exactly.
have been subjugated, right? So
Exactly.
when Madupe, once we finish the next slide and
That's
she
it.
flashes up that statement,
Yes.
it makes it very clear what
Clear.
that situation is.
Indeed.
And everyone needs to remember that the middle belt is what prevented that initial attempt to take
To take over.
over the whole land
Indeed.
in Nigeria, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they're the ones that were standing there. That's
Yeah.
why they're trying to decimate that area and take it over. And that's the whole point why they put it together with the norm,
That's
right?
it.
When they
Exactly.
did exactly,
Exactly.
exactly.
Thank you very much. Anybody want to add anything before we proceed to the next slide?
Yes. This is immoral.
Hello,
Um.
Imoro.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to ask a question. This information that we have, looked at just now
Mm-hmm.
about how revenue was allocated. This is in the Constitution, right?
Yes,
Yep.
it's in the Federation
Yep.
accounts.
It's in the
Yes,
Fed.
Yes.
it
Okay.
is.
So basically, NINAS is saying that this Constitution is a fraud,
That's
and
correct.
we want it done away with, right?
Right.
So eventually, all these things will not matter when the referendum comes,
Yeah.
That's
because
where we
the
want to get to.
yeah, the indigenous people uh, will be sitting at the table and saying, okay, this is how we want things to go from now on.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we're
Exactly.
going to relate to each other. Now,
Exactly.
yeah, I want to say something about the Fulani people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have many Fulani friends. Most of them are not. Actually, I don't know if I have any Nigerian Fulani friend, but I have. See, here in Boston, where I live,
Mm-hmm.
because of my work, I got to be involved with the Fulani family
Mm-hmm.
and gain their trust. And I've known them for many years. And
Mm-hmm.
they also have many, through this family, I got to know so many others in an extended way.
Mm-hmm.
And they see each other as brothers,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they're very close to each other.
Absolutely.
Okay, now, you see, I came to understand them better. I mean, I really gained the trust of the husband, in this family. I gained his trust. He trusts me so much.
Mm.
Okay? I mean, he's Muslim, I'm a Christian. But I mean, he trusts me so much. I mean, I could say
things about how to show how he does, but I don't have
Yeah.
to go
No, no,
too
don't.
personal.
There's no need to.
Okay,
No.
but I came to understand that the Fulani, in July I was in Nigeria, and this friend of mine, this Fulani friend of mine, was trying to reach me. He didn't know I had traveled. So eventually we connected. I had to tell him I was in Nigeria. Why he was trying to reach me was he's from Guinea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He's from Guinea. He's a Fulani. Most of these Fulani people are from that I know are from Guinea or Senegal, and maybe from Ivory Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so although most of them are Guinean and
Guineans.
Senegalese.
Yes.
Okay, so he was trying to reach me, and he then eventually I talked with him, and the reason he was trying to reach me was because one of his Fulani, he would say brothers, that's what they probably would call him,
Mm-hmm.
was in Nigeria at the time and wanted to come to the United States. And because of the ways I've helped them in the past, he wanted me to help this man, if he came here, to get into an environment where he could study the English language and get good in the English language, do better in his English language. Now, what I came to find out was this particular young man, I was in Nigeria at the time, and he was in Abuja. This particular young man used to be a minister in the Guinean government, the minister of sports
Oh.
or youth or something like that. He was a young man. I talked to him in Nigeria because since I was in Nigeria, I told my friend, I said, well, I'm here, I could meet with him and
Mm.
so forth. We did not meet eventually, but when I talked to the young man on the phone,
Mm.
I found out that he had resigned his job in Guinea as a minister and come to Nigeria. And he wanted to get contacts and get into the Nigerian system. And that made me think. That made me think. I said, why would this man leave an important
Guinea.
job in Guinea and come to Nigeria? See, what I'm trying to say by all of this is this: the Fulani, okay, going into history and Usman Dan Fodio,
Mm-hmm.
they were moving to conquer the whole of the Nigerian land.
Yeah.
Now, one of my friends here in Boston is from Benue State, and he told me he's a TV person. He told me of how the TV prevented the Fulani invaders from coming to the eastern part. That is why you don't have a Fulani or Muslim influence in eastern Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
because the TV resisted them so much that they turned and faced the west. He told me the story.
Absolutely, that is true. And by the way,
Yes.
I have tea.
Ah.
It's my
Okay.
people.
Yeah. So
Yes.
so she's that's our story you're telling right there.
I
Yes.
know.
Yeah. So he told me about this. So when the British came, they interrupted that invasion or that thing that they were doing. They interrupted it. But as we know, when the British were leaving, they handed it over back to the Fulani Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And they have that design to conquer the whole of Nigeria.
Mm.
So what I'm trying to say is this: we see them building up ammunitions and all of this,
Hmm.
and they are ready to fight. What is the answer? Because do you think they're going to give up without a fight?
No, no, no. That's look. That's from my point of view. That is we will cross that bridge when we get to it. Is what I'd say, right?
Right, exactly, exactly. Because I will not say that, they're not going to give up without a fight, because what we're setting in place is our right, right? It's our right. We're not infringing on anybody else's right. We have a right to our sovereignty. It's inalienable to us. We have a right to a self-determination. It's inalienable to
To
us.
us.
We have made formal, right? We've made formal our demand for our sovereignty back, right? And we have made the world aware of the demand of our sovereignty back,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And so, I mean, we'll have to wait to see how things play out. I do know that, as we talked about previously, that back in March, between March and April, that the UK, the EU, and the US, telling them, you need to go and address the issues that have been raised by your people, right? They've raised sovereignty dispute, they've raised an issue, you need to go address it. And it's not one that, that you're going to start, shooting people, right? But having said that, there's always a chance that that's going to happen, right? There's always a chance that that's going to happen. And obviously we're going to be leaning on the international community to be standing by us, and so that's the work that we need to do to make sure that the international community understands these things that we're talking about, that they can actually see what we're talking about, the fact that we're living in apartheid, the fact that these guys have actually openly declared, right? Because I'm sure you guys have seen the video where Prophet Akintoye is reading the letter. I mean, there's the information that they said that they're going to, that they've, gotten all this money and et cetera, et cetera. We've seen, the news that Turkey, is backing Boko Haram.
Yeah.
We saw the news out of the United Arab Emirates,
Emirates,
right,
yes.
where the Nigerians that they were persecuted for supporting terrorism in Nigeria. So we've got all of this stuff going on, around us, and just recently we saw the arms deal agreement with Egypt
Egypt. Oh.
and with Turkey, right? And Russia seems to be coming into the fray as well. And in addition to that, the other thing that bears note is that if you look at the multi-regional the multi-regional joint effort that's supposed to be fighting terrorism, there isn't one single mainly Christian state. It's
No.
all
All.
Muslim dominant states that are
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
So how can you expect that discipline to
Yeah.
fight those who are coming with both religion and
And
invasion against the owners of the land?
yeah.
Right? So, I mean, we just have to look at the facts. Again, what we're talking about are the facts. We're just bringing the facts together so that every objective person, right, can make a decision for themselves as to what they think is going on, right? Because these are just the facts. These are just the mere
Yeah,
facts.
Let
yeah.
me
Please,
let me add something. Emoro, if I may add something. I don't necessarily. I would always give us the. We need to look at the Czechoslovakia equation as well before we talk about the issue of maybe having to resort to them coming to option of trying to do it by force. One of the lawyers for Nnamdi Kano recently said, he said, there is nothing wrong with us having a different kind of governance than what we currently have. And there's precedents for this because in Czechoslovakia, when they were going to break up, they did it. It was all agreed. They couldn't work together, so they created new states. So that is something that the international body organizations are looking at. The UN,
USSR.
okay, and USSR as well. Thank you. There you go.
USSR.
That's it. Good. Good.
Doesn't
Yes.
exist today.
Exactly.
USSR.
Indeed. Indeed.
Referendum in all those countries were created.
That's it.
What we're asking for, and actually, let's talk about this. I know we're going away from what we're talking about, but this is a good place to talk about this. As to who we were, we said this before. One Nigeria was not unitary Nigeria. One Nigeria was, at that time, 4 regions. Remember? They were
But we reduced
self-governing.
migration.
So
So
what
we
we're talking
reduced
about is not even like something new. We're talking about a restoration of the agreement that was made in 1960,
Yeah.
right? Because this is the way that we agreed that we were going to live. And in fact, we have the video, with Amado Bello.
Yes.
Where he was talking about the fact that this is great, we're autonomous, we are self-governing, and we can do things for our people. This is not something new. Czechoslovakia, USSR, they came after we did it for ourselves. So
That's
now we're
interesting.
saying no. What we have right now is not what was agreed to. We want a restoration of our nations. Our nations have been hijacked.
Yeah.
It's been stolen. Our assets have been stolen.
Stolen.
Our people are being killed with impunity, and no one is saving our people, right? That's what we're talking about. And it's being used by agent 1999 Constitution, which is fraudulent and not made by us. We did not make it, right?
Exactly.
Wardo, it was very emphatic about the fact that we did not make it.
Yeah.
And looking at the Constitution, with all the provisions in there, some of which we've talked about, these federation accounts, the benefits, the immunity of the governors from being able to provide your benefits, right? The fact that federal character, which is coming up next, is not enforceable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
These are all things that kind of point us to what the situation is.
Mm.
We're not trying to do something new. We're
No.
actually trying to reestablish
What is already
what was
there?
already done and was truncated by the military.
Mm.
Okay? So everyone needs to remember that. We were already separated into regions that had their own rulers. They had their own separate constitutions. They
Mm.
were autonomous. They were self-governing. They had control of their assets.
Yeah.
We already had that between 1960 and 1966
Yes.
until the military came in. So let's just make sure that all of us know that, because it has been erased from our history,
Mm.
so that our people, especially the young people, don't know that. They think,
Exactly.
one Nigeria is unitary Nigeria.
No.
No,
No.
because we had
Exactly.
4 regions and there were a couple more that were supposed to be created, I believe, at the time,
Wow.
right? And we were already separated into we were already an EU before
Exactly.
EU was
EU was great.
popular,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody want to add a few more things to what's being said there?
Yes, actually,
Yeah,
I
Oh,
want to
sorry.
add a few, one thing. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Eugene, go ahead.
Okay, because someone asked before that the North had all that land mass. Why are they asking the Southerners to give them land? And here is the reason why. Based on what I heard from a friend from Liberia and Senegal, where they call them Fola.
Mm-hmm.
They say that once they come into your house, you are the landlord. That you give them a room to live, soon enough they find a way to displace you. So they're asking us land softly, so that when they give them land in the south, just like these people who have known them for years are saying, they will find a way to do the occupation that they are wanting to occupy and take over the whole Nigeria. So that's part of their subtle way of saying, give us land, we only want to rear our cows, but that's not exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
They're looking to come in and then softly push out people, the indigenous from those places.
Yeah.
That's just one of the explanations.
Thank you.
Absolutely, which is
Thank you.
what Mojibe was actually highlighting.
Yeah.
Is that there's
Exactly.
no reason for them to be in the South.
No.
No reason
No.
whatsoever. And
yeah,
why are they destroying the farmland? There's lots of land, even lots of land in the South. Why are they not buying it like anybody else?
Indeed.
Why is the government paying for Ruga?
Yeah.
Have the government paid any of you for your farm
No
so that
way.
you can start a farm?
No
No.
way.
But if you recall, the Bauchi governor said that, oh, all Fulani our
What?
brothers.
Ah,
So they're
welcome.
bringing in what? Tens of millions of them
Yeah.
into Nigeria, giving them an NIN number,
Yes.
giving them Nigeria identity, and they're not Nigerians.
Exactly.
Those people in the forest, right? Remember when the lawmaker was saying they're not Nigerians?
Yeah.
The people were talking about of ejecting from the forest. Remember when the Southwest governors were
Yes.
talking about getting rid of them, right? They said they're not Nigerians.
Mm.
But they're being protected because they're Fulani
Fulanis.
bandits, they're
Exactly.
Fulani killers, they're Fulani who are here to invade the land.
Mm.
Okay? So we've seen all of this kind of playing out. And then if we look at the example of Lebanon,
Hmm.
Lebanon used to be a Christian country.
Hmm.
And then they were kind, letting in these Muslims, and I'm not talking about moderate Muslims. Let's get it clear, right? Because we've got Muslims who are indigenous to Nigeria. We never had any issues.
No.
We've got Muslims who are, in the Yoruba space, in the Igbo space. We're talking about extremists who are hell bent on killing the moderate Muslims, because that's what they started doing in the north.
Yeah.
It's killing the moderate Muslims, and if you look at the blacklisting, you will see they're killing moderate Muslims.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this isn't about Christian and Muslim, right?
Yeah.
So on one side you have the jihadists and the extremists. On the other side, which is us, you've got the Christians, the moderate Muslims, and everybody else. Okay, so they put us all as infidels, because if we're not Sharia, right, then we're infidels, right? So the Christians are standing with the moderate Muslims. We are all under attack. And that's what the document, all the reports show, right? The moderate Muslims are being attacked,
Yeah.
just like the Christians and those who are neither Christians nor moderate Muslims. That's kind of what's going on, right?
Okay, thank you. Emoro, Fetier, I know you have some more questions, but I do want us to press on with the slide for a little bit, if you don't
Right.
mind. If you could maybe phrase it with the next part of the slide, if you don't mind. It's just for time
No problem.
purposes. Thank you very much. Okay, Jean, would you
Yeah,
please?
just the last slide. We'll talk about other factors, and then we'll just kind of skim through some of the information on the numbers itself, so you can see how, these factors, population, land size, and local government actually plays out in how money is distributed.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to go for the next slide now. Is that okay?
Hmm.
Okay, so here we are. So we're on the next slide. Apartheid, other factors.
Right?
Okay, you want to? Yeah, you go ahead,
Have a
Jane.
lack of federal character. Okay, you see that most revenue generating positions, high level positions, are held by non-indigenous minority Fulani or extremist
Mm-hmm.
Muslims, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's apartheid.
Yeah.
And what's worse, you can't enforce federal character.
Yeah.
Did you know that? The Constitution says you cannot go to court and enforce federal character.
Hmm.
That's why you haven't seen any lawsuits to enforce federal character. So again, what the Agent 1999 Constitution is telling the world that all the citizens in Nigeria, the indigenous Nigerians, we the stupid people.
Mm.
Because we put in things that should help us, and then we turn around and say that it's unenforceable.
Yeah.
And we know that's not the case, right? What about allocations of all those loans and
And
aid that
aid.
comes into Nigeria, right? We have seen where that's going to, right? Right? Someone was talking to me about the roads in the South just yesterday. The fact that, APC said that they allocated all this money 4 years ago and that everything was going to be, oh, so much better. And now, to go from Uyo to Calabar, the roads are so
Bad.
bad. Yeah. And yet, money was allocated. They were talking about 4 years ago. Nothing's been done. Where is the money going? Right? Where is the money going? But we already know about those allocation of the loans. Remember the loans that were taken,
Mm-hmm.
that was going to be taken from China, and there was a lawsuit filed to block that,
Yes.
right? Because most of the money was going where? To the far north.
North.
And the Southeast wasn't even getting a dime, not even
Mm.
a penny, not
No.
even a red cent. You were
It's
not
crazy.
getting one penny,
It's
right,
crazy.
of that money. So these are the things that we're talking about that we have to bring together so people understand when we're talking, when NINAS is talking about apartheid,
Mm.
we've got all this data to support it,
Mm.
right? What about the cost of governance?
Oh,
Over
crazy.
80%.
Crazy.
Over 80%. And we wonder, since Buhari has come into power, 2018, Nigeria became the poverty capital of the world.
Yeah.
And it's escalating every year.
Getting worse. Getting
Yeah,
worse.
because when you have, senators getting over $600,000 a year minimum,
It's crazy.
and the minimum wage is even at
30,000 naira.
30,000 naira is what, $58 a
Yeah.
year?
It's
Guys,
mm,
this is what we're talking about,
it's
right? This is what we were talking about. So let's just go to the next slide so we can see kind of what the effect of that, right?
okay.
So we have over 8 million people in need of aid, and this is from a few months ago. So that number is much higher.
Mm-hmm.
They're in need of immediate aid. Okay, and this is from the UN, UNICEF, etc. Right?
Wow.
They're in need of immediate aid.
8.
And then let's talk about the next slide. It talks about the youth. What's going on with the youth?
30 point. Oh,
Okay,
oh, my goodness.
they're unemployed.
Oh,
And this is August of 2020, and you know what it is today. Guys, this is what we're talking about. And the last slide is kind of what we kind of talked about it out of turn. But there's this article.
yeah.
Nigerian lawmakers are eating the country's wealth with insane allowances.
Oh, sorry. What
Yeah,
happened there?
that's it. You can just go to the previous. Yeah,
Okay.
they're eating the wealth of the country. The country is going into abject poverty.
Yeah.
Why haven't they slashed their salaries in half and their allowances?
It's
Why
crazy.
are they still getting their current money as senator and their prior money as governor or vice versa, right?
Yeah,
In pensions?
yeah.
Have you seen the size of those pensions?
It's
The
huge.
number of cars that need to
Yes.
be given to them every year or every 5 years or every 2 years. Have you seen that?
It's,
And we've got
so
children.
again, oh,
46 million. Come on. I mean, this is insane.
it
It
is.
is insane, right? So that's what's going on in the country, and these are the things that we're talking about. And I know that we're going way over in having the discussion, but I think it's important for us to have, a casual discussion to bring up, I mean, just kind of follow the trend where it goes, right, AY?
Yes, absolutely. I think the theme in all of this is for us to ensure that our people begin to get into our mindset that we are under an apartheid regime.
Mm-hmm.
And until we all take that on board, personally, and make sure that our family understand that the Fulani non-indigenous people who are oppressing us, they are operating an apartheid regime, such like when we talk about South Africa, oh, in South
Yeah.
Africa, that's the
Yeah.
same thing that we are under, and we have been
Yeah.
under that for the last 60 years.
Yes.
And that is
61
the
now.
reality,
61
61.
now.
And that's the
Yeah.
reality and the narrative that those of us who are watching this, you need to make sure that the people understand that the only option we have is to go for self-determination and
Absolutely.
via referendum supporting the action of NINAS. All of us in the South, we haven't got time for division. We really
No.
haven't. That clock is
No.
ticking. That time is running down. Sometimes in the
Right.
middle of the night, I am looking and I'm thinking to myself, people in the South, we are one of the wealthiest people on planet Earth with the amount
Thank
of
you.
resources that we have. But because of these 68 exclusive items within that fraudulent constitution, we don't have access to our resources. Our generations to come. There's a video that I played earlier on. Maybe Modupe, if you can play that video of the kids standing in water singing the national anthem. Please, I'd like you to play that at this point. So that
Yes.
let's play that. To people to
Okay.
understand
Hold on.
just
Yeah.
exactly what
Hold
this
on. Let me
means.
put. I'll.
Then I'll stop sharing now so you can do that. There you go. Okay. So she's gonna play that for us. It's really important we understand that we are under an apartheid regime. So Mojupe, when you're ready, and please, if you do have comments and things as we're going along, do leave them on
Yeah.
the broadcast. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, good. Go ahead. So play it. You can run it. I've come off the screen now, I think. So, oh, sorry. Stop. Let me just cut myself out of there. Sorry,
No,
guys.
you're okay. You're okay. She's
Okay, good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you
That's
for
such
playing
a
that.
shame.
Lamborghinis.
That is such a shame. I don't
Look,
even
in
think, you know,
houses overseas,
yes, I
big
don't even
cobbled
think,
houses in Nigeria for the governing. And that is what they're doing to the future generation.
and you know, I don't even think that the words, even some of the words, like, you know, are noble cause. And I'm like, what is noble about what is
Love,
going on?
strength, and faith. Where's the
Love,
love
strength,
for the
and faith.
children?
That's what I'm saying.
Where's the
Like
love
those
for these
words,
children?
we're just biting. I mean, so those words are just biting. And I'm like, you know, I don't even think that, you know, the kids. I mean, like they basically, you know, we just like you and I, you know, I mean, like the kids are, you know, trained to memorize these words, but
Yes.
not
Right.
actually
I'm not
analyze what it means because it doesn't mean anything. Because when you look at it, you know, guide our noble. What is noble about this?
floating. Their shoes, two shoes were floating
Even the
across,
picture
That
I
that
and they
that
saw,
were
is
reading that
telling.
thing.
That is
if you
telling.
understand it, oh my goodness, it's so, I mean, it's just
I am.
definitely,
I'm not.
I can't find the right word for it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm crying as I'm talking to you. I'm
Yeah, we
crying
can see because it is
because
heartbreaking.
because
It is
look,
heartbreaking.
that is the future of the south. The future for the southern children of the coming.
But
Those
but
are the
but
future.
AY. These are the lucky children, AY.
Well,
These are not the children in
mm,
that 90 million living in abject poverty
well.
or in the IDP camps. These are the lucky children.
Well, if we can call
I
this
mean, let's
love,
let's let's really talk about that.
if we can
These
call,
are the lucky children.
I know what you mean. I understand what you mean. But it should any look if that was in if
But
that was in
then think about the rest of them
hmm,
that are in
hmm,
rags,
yeah,
right?
yeah, hmm.
The rest of them in rags. And in fact, while we're talking, let me bring up some of those images. I
Please
mean, these
do.
images from Nigeria.
Yeah.
It is it just heart
Oh.
wrenching. Just it is gut wrenching. It's gut wrenching. You guys go ahead and talk while
No, no.
I get
So
the some of those
I
videos.
mean, thank you very much, Mudukwe, my sister, for showing that video. And I hope many of us look. This is my elder professor Enyeriba Anyawusa. If you wanted to say something to us, we honestly, this is an open discussion now. We'd like to hear from you. You're very much part of that generation that saw all of this happening, and I'm sure you know that you're still in this struggle now. That tells us something. We'd like to hear from you, please. Unmute, please, if you don't mind. Unmute, sir. Okay.
I have been privileged to be joining the conversation in NINAS right from the beginning. Just tell a little about myself. I'm a professor of surgery, trained in Germany, went back to Nigeria, University of Port Harcourt. Circumstances forced me back to Germany against my will. And many of the things I started in Nigeria, I couldn't continue it because of the political setting, because of ethnic setting, because of so many things. There were things, you see, I wasn't just talking, I was functioning, or at least I thought I was, until somebody from the Ministry of Health came and told me that after a cabinet meeting, it was said is either me or the Minister of Health. See, for me, that was a signal. But that's not the issue. The issue goes much further backwards. We are talking about the Fulani. You've mentioned a few points that while you are discussing them, they weren't extremely coherent so that the people will understand what was going on. At the end of the 1800s, when the Fulanis were battling, there was no Nigeria at that time. They were simply amassing territories above the Niger in the Sahel region. Their partner at that time was a man called called Mr. Lugard. He was called Lord later after he was remunerated by the crown for the inhumanities
he perpetrated, and the genocides he perpetrated in the northern Nigeria, or in that area called Nigeria. Something people didn't understand is there was a fight for an area after the 1885 meeting under the watch of Bismarck in Berlin, where Africa was shared out.
Yeah, carved up. Berlin Conference.
It wasn't just shared, it was carved out. They proceeded to take possession of it. You see, and it came at a time when the Fulanese were coming from the Futajelon area and impounding on all the communities above the Niger. In fact, they came as far as the Ilorin. Those of you who are interested in knowing the situation should go back and do that. But the quintessence was this. Lord Lugard saw warriors and he has to come to a rapport with them. And this rapport was working together, imposing whatever government they wanted. The Futajelan people were already Islamic, but they believed that their own Islam is superior to any other Islam. And that is why not only was it possible for them to kill off those who weren't prepared to accept their own version of Islam, they recruited others who believed them and then marched on the others. So we have a situation where the interest of the crown
And
collided with the interest of the grandchildren of
Usman.
Danfodia. They had to come to an agreement to share their booty. And their booty was every other thing that wasn't in their area. And that was, I'm sorry,
That's fine, no problem.
and that was those of us now in the middle belt and the south that are crying. Now, another thing people should understand is that, unfortunately, those of our leaders who should have known, many of the documents were not available to them. The agreement the British government made with the Fulanese, they were known, and even if when they were known, they didn't even fight a common cause in order to fight for their rights. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, we heard from the secretary of NINAS. They recently released documents from British Parliament that was saying at the time there was this collusion between the Crown and the Fulanese about how they would govern the rest of the area before it was even called Niger area, Nigeria. They found out that, unfortunately, if the indigents, sorry, I have to switch off this.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine. Jean, how you doing in terms of the pictures? Okay, carry on, sir. Go ahead. We got a few more
Almost
minutes.
there.
Okay. Go ahead, sir. Go
Does
ahead,
that
sir.
stop?
Yeah, no, go ahead,
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead.
If the indigents knew what type of agreement the Crown did make with the Fulanese, they would revolt against it someday. And that is what we are doing now.
The
Ah.
1912 document. Yeah, I don't have that yet, but it's a 1912 document.
Yes.
And we are even late at it.
Yes.
What many people didn't know is the whole system. We're talking about what our forefathers, what our founding fathers laid down. In fact, we don't have founding fathers as such. They had to take the crumbles that fell over the Fulani and British arrangement. That was what was left over, and that is how you can have a philosophy about the eastern region, northern region, southern region. It all boiled down the same thing. It was an administrative division of the Niger area to make it possible for the British government to continue uh, taking off Nigeria. For instance, in the 1900s, early 1900s, we had oil in the east. Our Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo, they didn't even know about this oil reserve at the time they were fighting for
Independence.
independence. Now, there was railway track built from north to the south. It was never intended to unite the south and the north in trade. It was just a means of cutting away
The oil.
Nigeria's treasures to the sea and taking it straight to England. Now, we keep on, since a couple of years, we were jumping. I mean, I'm very happy. I'm really very happy to all NINAS um, officials making it possible, raising the awareness, which is not late, but it will lead us to where we want to go to. But the point is, uh, I am not very much in concord with the. Anyway, maybe it is. No, it may be risky to say anything at this point.
Yeah,
We
let's
have.
just let's just kind of
Let's,
move on
yeah.
here.
Yeah, thank you so much for your
Moving
for
on.
your for your knowledge, sir. And we will talk some
Yeah.
more, and those kind of discussions you will have with Jane and others, in a more appropriate setting. Okay, Jane, thank you very much, sir.
Right. Let me
Yeah,
see.
if you can share the
Some of the
screen.
things that, yeah, some of the things that we can really see. And this is, I mean, like when you go out there, you can see
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the children. Okay. This is what their lives are like. That's
Yeah.
what we're talking about. That those ones are lucky, and these are actually luckier than the ones in the IDP
Oh
camps,
my
of
gosh.
which there's over 2 million of them. Okay. These
Goodness me.
ones are lucky, right? They actually have dirty water that they can get to, right? This is what, we talk about, like during the Biafran War, we talk
Yeah.
about the Bashoka, right? And what happened then. But that's, I mean, it is happening now. I mean, it is happening now. We're talking about this now, right? If you go out there, it gives you the
Yeah.
images. Sorry, this is the
Okay, that's
oh
okay.
god. Yeah, so that you guys can just see. These
Yeah.
are the images. Okay.
And these are current images. Current. They are not.
Yes,
These
these
are
are current
current.
images of what's going on in Nigeria. Okay. So again, the situation is dire, right? The situation is dire. They're living in those kind of conditions, and guys, they actually have clean clothes, right? We looked at those that have nothing on.
Yeah.
So where exactly are those kids sleeping?
Yeah.
Right? In that dirty water with all the pollution that is seeping into their bodies, what is going to be the life expectancy? Yes, our people are resilient. They are
Yeah.
resilient.
Yeah.
But this is our future.
It is. It
Okay,
is.
so we're
It's,
calling on all the indigenous Nigerians from the far north down to the south. Wake up. Wake up. Right? The future of our heritage is under attack. And we, the people, are the ones that can take it back. And that's what NINAS is about, is bringing all the people together. I said, Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance of Self-Determination, right? Actually, from the Middle Belt to the South, uniting for freedom. But we're not, leaving out our indigenous brothers up in the far north, right? Because we know, as we know from history, they've been conquered, they've been killed, they've been subjugated. And do you have that the what you might call it, the quote from
Oh, Ahmad Bello?
Amado Bello?
I've got
Yeah,
it here. Let me just read
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Okay, let me
So
read
I mean,
up.
that kind of puts it into perspective for us.
Yeah,
And guys, I know that we're kind of going away from
no, 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 but we will come back.
all
We will
that
come
we're
back.
supposed to be talking
So
about.
let me quickly just, I've got it on here. The new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our great grandfather, Uthman Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We use the minorities in the north as willing tools, and the south, listen to the words, the south as a conquered territory, and never allow them to have control over us, and never allow them to have control over their future. This was said by Amadou Bello at the to the Parrot newspaper on the 12th of October 1960, 12 days after the so-called independence.
Now, that's what I call the infamous Futajallon Manifesto.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes,
That's it. That's
The
it.
yes,
Sagado
There
Manifesto.
you go. That's it. That's it. So
yeah.
you got it. In fact, yes, you got it there. Yes. Yes, thank you. So I was trying to put it on the side and yeah, so there you go. So those are the words there. Now,
Yeah.
and how anybody, and I keep saying this to us in the South, we need to rapidly make sure that there is no such name as Amadou Bello Way anywhere by the sea in Lagos. That name must be completely taken off. If we know our history, what if we allow Amadou Bello Way to remain? It's what Tafawa Balewa said. Tafawa Balewa said in 1947 they were going to carry out a conquest to the sea the minute the British left. And if we allow Amadou Bello to remain in Lagos, that is their conquest to the sea. That is they're actualizing. You and I, we need to actualize what we need to do. Put a stop to it.
What about the emirs that's being set up everywhere in
Well,
the South?
this is it. Yeah. What the other guy was
Everywhere in the South,
This is
right?
it. These
And we
are
have the subjugation. We have the subjugation of our own. What they do is they come in, and we
yeah.
see it happen in Southern Kaduna and in the Middle Belt, right? They kill off
One by
they
one.
kill off the rulers, right? The
Yes.
emirs and the kings and etc. Right? And then they said they install emirs,
Yes.
right? That's what's going on.
It is.
Again, we're not saying anything that is not out in the public space.
You can
We're
see
just
it. You
bringing
get
it
it.
together to the country so
Yeah.
that our people, the indigenous Nigerians, would understand what's going on. And we're going to have to continue next week,
Yeah.
AY, to talk about the numbers.
Yes.
But I think this is important, right? This is important to give people voice,
Yeah.
to be able to just kind of talk freely about what's going on,
Yeah. It
right?
is. It is very much.
Because it is important, and we'll continue next week.
Yes.
We will actually get to the
We will.
numbers
We will do. We will do. We
and
will
get
do.
to everything else. But it's just important because this is incredibly troubling,
Yeah.
right?
It is.
And let's talk about the fact that the UNICEF and all these international organizations talk about even the UN itself, right? They sent a special rapporteur in 2019 and in 2020. And they came back in 2019, Agnes Callamard. She made it clear that the constitutional arrangement was the issue, independently, right? Because Lower Niger Congress, working with the Movement for No Nigeria, were talking to the UN, and they sent the special rapporteur and the US, right? And to put it in there that the constitutional arrangement, we're talking about Agent 1999 Constitution, aka Military Decree 24.
4 of 1999. Yeah.
Right, license to invade, license
To
to
kill.
create apartheid, and to create genocide, which we're seeing, right? And as the prof said earlier, a 1912 document that preceded that 1914, where they actually actualized.
Yeah.
And they were careful to talk about the natives, meaning the indigens of the land, as opposed to the invaders, right?
Yeah.
The non-indigenous Fulani,
This
right?
is
So I think before we go, Matiba, I do want you to play that Ruga. We only have a
Yeah,
few more minutes
yeah,
left.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
think that the things we've been talking about today is very important, right? Because we're
Mm.
bringing in a lot of factors and kind of bringing them together. Let's play that Ruga video. And I
Okay.
think this will be chilling to a lot of people when they understand what Ruga
All right.
is going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Right, because people are thinking, oh, this just has to do with cattle, etc., and open grazing has to do with cattle. No, it doesn't. As we talked about earlier, has everything to do with colonization. And remember, in this colonization, they're not thinking about you being, living, like a normal human being.
Jane, Jane, do you mind? I want to say something just before that.
Okay, sorry, we
And
can't
then,
hear
Go ahead.
you.
yeah, I want us to see something just before that.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead, please. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Please.
We only have 6 more minutes, so
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. I want us to see this real quick, and then
okay.
we'll also see the one that you're referencing.
Yes,
Okay. Go
absolutely. Go
ahead. Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Yeah, because when people see these videos, they really
Yeah.
will start to understand.
Yeah. Go.
Good day, everyone. Mazizuki speaking. I got this video sent to me from the Middle Belt. When I say that there is nothing like farmers' headers clash, many of you don't believe that. Now, look at this video. Tell me for 1 second, where is farmer header clash here? What you see here is pure wickedness of headers invading farmland.
Mm.
For one moment, someone has spent thousands, millions planting these corns, and suddenly someone comes with his own business and destroys it. What do you think will be the reaction of the farmer when he sees these herdsmen destroying his farm? Would he say to them, "Thank you, you have done well for destroying my farm"? Say no to open grazing.
Say no.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
Say
then
agree.
I'll
no.
show you the other one.
Amen.
Sorry, one second. The one that you asked. Let me do
Okay.
that one real quick. Hold on.
4 minutes. We have 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that shouldn't be 4 minutes. I mean, that
I
should be
know. Hurry up.
Okay.
No pressure.
No
Well, I took
pressure.
all this time.
No. No. It's. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let me play that real quick, and then we'll be done.
Yeah, because this is very chilling.
Yeah. Hmm.
Look, with
Yeah, and go to
a
full
benefit
screen.
of what has happened in my
Okay, hold
state.
on.
Yeah, if you go to the little thing at the end, so that you can no, just go to the bottom where you have that like exactly. Okay.
That's it.
Look, with a benefit of what has happened in my state, a similar program of a Ruga settlement was not called Ruga in 1987. The government approved land that was taken from the natives in Zangokata and Kesha local government and created a grazing reserve. And they call it Kesha Grazing Reserve. By 1990, it was changed to Laduga Grazing Reserve. And Laduga is a Fulani word. And today, as I'm talking, it was an initial landmass of 30 hectares of land that was taken from the natives, no compensation. And up to now, no single native that is there that can even go there. If you go, you cannot even enter that place as a native. And huge development is taking place. Big buildings, big hospitals, you don't even know what is going on there in Laduga. And it has been surreptitiously increased in size to 70,000 hectares. And so, if we have this Laduga,
70,000 or 70?
70,000
Even
hectares.
30,000 as taken initially.
From 30,000 it has been increased to 70,000, and it is still there. So there is the
Yeah.
plan is to replicate this Laduga model all over the nation, thereby changing democracy, the political democracy, the demography, the economic demography, the social demography, the cultural demography of a people all over the nation, and Fulanize every place in the nation.
These are fears that you have.
These are fears, these are not only fears, this is something that is happening to me. I
Yes.
am giving
Yes,
testimony.
this is something that you've
This
seen
is something
happen.
that we have seen happen
Yes.
in Kaduna State,
And
in
this-
southern
and this
Kaduna,
is the
and
fear.
we are the land of our people. We cannot get there. We cannot go to farm. we cannot, this is the land that was taken over from the people, it was not compensated for, and we cannot go there to farm. We have become second class citizens in our own state, in our own country, and somebody is saying that it is fears, only fears. This is real. The fear is
Is
Maybe
real,
we
real.
can
and
end
the
it here
replication
just so
of
that
this
we can
model all
end.
over
We only have 1 more minute, but you
Okay.
guys
and the
get the
intent
picture of
is
what's
real.
going on.
We have
Yeah.
But you
Okay.
get
Yeah,
the picture of
so
what's going on.
you know what? If I may just say this
One
quickly.
minute, actually 30 seconds, and then
Okay,
you
Jane.
can talk us off.
Okay, no, really, Jane. I just want to add this quickly. The guy kept emphasizing, fear. I mean, he kept
Fear is
saying
real.
this has
The,
happened
the
before,
lady,
and the
yeah,
lady kept saying this is your fear.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let her sit there,
Yeah.
right? In another few years, no, in fact, in another
nothing
Months.
few,
happened.
Months.
few months, somebody, a Fulani woman that is less qualified, is going to take her spot, and then
Exactly.
she's going to then she will understand that it's not fair, it
Exactly.
is real.
Exactly.
And that's what I
Okay.
want to add.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
very
thank you
much.
all very much. Thank you
Thank
all,
you.
everyone. We are really excited to have you on board and everyone that's been listening to us on social media. This is NINAS, Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for
That's this.
Self-Determination, and we thank Citizen AY for
Thank you.
joining us. We
Thank you.
every Saturday we're here from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Nigeria time, and we bring you all the information packaged so that you can make a determination for yourself about what's actually going on. So, AY, if you can say goodbye to everyone.
Okay. All right. From here, we will just say to everybody, I want to thank you all. Listen, there's more. Like Jean said, we'll be here they'll be here every Saturday with Ninas. And please join this struggle. We need every Southerner to join the struggle. We are under an apartheid regime. That is the narrative that must go out there to across the entire South. The
And the
earlier we wake up,
genocide,
and there's a genocide.
genocide,
The
and
genocide is
the
going on.
invasion, because this is an
Yes,
invasion,
this is an
an invasion
invasion, and
by
they and
non-indigenous Fulani.
exactly. So
An
please,
invasion.
please, we urge you all to, we urge you all, please, please, please. It's not a joke. This is not a game. It's time we woke up and took on this task collectively as Southerners. So I will leave it at that. Thank you very much. We'll see you all next week. And thank you very much, Jean, for having me on the show. And I thank all of the
So
people who came
tell,
on.
tell other people in your circle of friendships and all that to join this and get to know what's going on, because we really need to open our eyes and like yesterday.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, don't just take the information, spread the information and get people to sign the petition demanding referendum. And we gotta start moving faster than we are.
Yeah,
We have to start moving faster than we are.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you all very much and
Thank you.
have the most blessed rest of the weekend.
Okay,
Thank
you too.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we're
Okay,
going to end the
bye.
broadcast this side. Okay. Thank you. Thank you and goodbye.